With Valve clearly catering to people that just want to spend money on the game, whether it be with the new charms that you can unbox, 492 of them available, or with a new update where they're supposedly adding bids, and this could mean a few different things that we'll get into. Today, I want to cover what this means for the Armory Season 3 as well, that's coming in the next couple of weeks, and if as an investment you could make a ridiculous amount of money, because we're kind of getting to the point where something in here should be removed, but we'll see. To cash out instantly for PayPal, crypto, and bank transfers, check out Skin.Place. Skin.Place gives you fair prices for every single skin you have, and is an insanely easy process. Here's how it works. Just click the skins you want to sell, enter your crypto address or whatever you need to do, and then you just get sent a trade offer, accept it, and receive your money in about 20 minutes. It's the best way to sell CS2 skins no matter what size your inventory is. Get a 3% bonus on selling your skins with that link at the top of the description. So for starters, let's talk about what Valve might be adding with the bids to the Armory, what this could mean exactly. And Aqua is missing. I don't really know what this could mean, so I'm just going to use Aqua is missing. This is his thoughts on it. He said he had the thought about this feature, think it might work this way. The more stars you decide to spend, or bid, the higher chance of getting something rare. That would also omit the gambling aspect of the Armory by letting players get a guaranteed item with enough stars. Now, I don't think this is a bad idea. From Valve's perspective, obviously this would make them a lot of money. It would get people buying more stars, or I guess working towards more stars. It's not an operation. You can't buy them anymore, but I guess that's a possibility. I mean, it would keep people buying passes. It would keep people playing the game. All good things that you would assume Valve would want, but obviously that's not confirmed. Now, what is confirmed is we're probably getting new items in the Armory very soon, which makes sense, and that should mean something gets cycled out of the Armory eventually, but who really knows? Now, Valve did say that Season 2 of Premier ends on July 14th, and of course, to get your medal, you need 25 seasons. You need to suffer through 25 Premier matches, first of all, and even then, you got to win them, so it's not fun, but if you want to get your medal, that's how you do it. Now, either way, we know for a fact one item that's not being continued is the XM. Nothing else says anything, so we could assume it's going to be kept in the game, but I mean, I'm surprised Valve hasn't switched out these charms yet or anything. And I will say, if these charms get removed, I think even if it's for new charms, that they're going to spike up in price. One thing we saw this with is agents, and that beautiful picture of Mo, but I actually have the charm up already. Obviously, it's just sat completely flat in price. Sure, they still got some demand, but they're not very common. There's only a couple hundred of these listed on the market. Not even a couple hundred. Only 145 baby carrot tees listed on the market. Obviously, there's a lot of other charms as well. If they get removed from the game, I think they're going to have a very similar trend to the agents in long term. Because, I mean, you're never going to be able to get them again. You can't trade up to them. There's going to be demand for them. They are still rare items that collectors will want. And since there's not that many of them, they could definitely blow up in price. I'm stalling time trying to think of an agent skin, and I can't. We'll look up Number K. I think that's his name. Here we go. One of the many agents that have increased in price drastically. Some of the best investments in the game being human beings that you could buy for $5 back in the day. Of course, this small dip that happened was when Riptide got released and all the agents crashed in price. At the time, this seemed horrible. It seemed like they were a dead investment. They dropped $3. But now this thing's at $80, and it was pretty much up only the whole time. If these charms get cycled out and removed, I would invest in them heavily, and I will invest in them heavily if that happens. Same with the collections. I covered this in the previous video with the high tier skins, or even like these, for example. If they get removed, I think they're great long-term holds. The M4 Fade, I think, is only like $400. Sure, there's a lot of them, but if it gets removed from the game, that demand is going to spike up. You could go back and see it with the Blue Phosphor. You could see it with the Icarus Fell. You could see it with the Poseidon. You could see it with any old Operation skins, and that's what I'll compare it to. You could even see it with the Op Fade, which did sit very sideways for a long period of time, but it did eventually spike up, and $400 for a very nice skin like this could definitely be a good investment. There's going to be a lot more demand if it gets removed from the game, and yeah, same goes with all of these skins. And of course, we have the other collections as well. We, of course, do have these 3 new collections as well that were released in the Spring Forward update. Now, I did cover that if these got removed, they'd be absolutely incredible investments. I do think it is kind of unlikely, because it's very unlike Valve to just add something and then remove it like 4 months later. They typically really take their time with stuff, but once again, these are skins I would dump so much money into. If we see these get removed on the 14th, I actually can't show you guys them anywhere in game, but these 3 collections, Boreal, Ascent, and Radiant, if they get removed from the game, with the Spring Forward update, you know, and them cycling the summer skins, it'd be very cool. I mean, these skins, as I covered in the previous video, aren't that complex. They shouldn't be that hard to make. So if Valve really wants to keep people playing and grinding for new skins that stay super expensive and wants to be nice to investors, these would be a great buy. I would buy all 3 of the top skins in factory new condition, as they have been some of the best performers. They are still slightly increasing in price, surprisingly, because they do have a lot of demand, and there's not a ridiculous amount of them being dropped. So people always like these skins in factory new compared to the other conditions. If they get removed, that is what I would stock up on any way possible. Of course, we do have to wait till July 14th, but there is a lot of money to be made potentially with this upcoming update if stuff gets removed. And either way, we are going to have something new added to the Armory, presumably, with those bids. So be sure to check out the sponsor, link at the top of the description. And for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.